You're listening to the Moody Mommies podcast.
Audio warning. You may or may not hear kids screaming and yelling in the background, or us screaming or yelling at them to keep it together.
I know, we always are. You don't even want to see what I look like right now.
No, you don't.
Kendra's to the max.
Major Wilkinsons.
There's no Courtneys in this family. We can't get it together. Dude, I remember when Courtney and Kendra were pregnant at the same time, and Court's so glamorous, and Kendra was just...
It was a trailer trash.
Yeah.
I know. She is a mess. She still is till this day.
Totally.
I forgot about her, and I'm sure you guys...
I know.
She's in your
She's
guys'
like...
lexicon all the time.
No. I mean, well, yeah, we talk about Kendra hot messes all day, but we try not to be. She is a friendly reminder to keep your shit together.
I know. It really is.
It really is.
All right. So, how do you guys want to do this? We're going to talk about being a step-parent. Alex can cut in too if he wants. I know he's probably watching the kids.
Yeah, you guys could totally talk to him more. I mean, I'm like a stepmom, but I was only for like a year and I'm not right now. Well, whatever, you guys ask away. We're both here. Say hello, baby.
What's up, you guys?
Oh.
Hello there. It's weird hearing a man's voice up here.
I know. All right, we could do a little easy little intro. We're the Moody Mommies, right?
We are
We're the Moody Mommies. I'm Jessica.
The moodiest. And I'm Vanessa.
And today we're joined by Vanessa's sister and my cousin Caroline and her husband
Hey.
Alex.
Hi, you guys.
My
What's
brother-in-law,
going on?
my brother from another mother.
What's good?
So today we wanted to have them on to discuss being a step parent and that aspect of parenthood. So, Jessica, you want to kind of start asking them some kind of questions and stuff like that?
Well, I don't know. I mean, why don't you guys just kind of tell us what the dynamic was? Because I know obviously you guys have children. Both of you guys have children from previous relationships. So when you guys met each other, it was like automatic step parents, kind of, right?
Yeah.
Did you guys ever think that, knowing you already had a family, that your next relationship that you'd be with somebody with a kid? Or did you think my kids are going to be enough? It's going to be crazy?
I think for me, before, when I had my kids, I always had said that I wanted to date somebody that had kids because that way they understand, all, the responsibilities, everything that comes with it. And it'd just be easier to just adjust to one another having kids because we understand it. Yeah, so that was for me. I always said that I was going to date, being a mom of 2 kids already, that I wanted to date somebody that had children.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense because then, if you date some guy that doesn't understand the responsibility, then it's like, whoa, they're going to think that they come before everything. And you're like, nah, this isn't how it works.
Mm-hmm.
You don't understand what a
Right.
child means.
Yeah, or if you want to go on a date and you're just like, oh, I can't, I don't have a babysitter, they're going to think you're lame,
Or never call you again.
Don't
Yeah.
call me. I'll be in Malibu.
But that was what I kind of had hoped for, is dating somebody just so they could just understand everything,
Mm-hmm. What about you, Alex?
Sorry, he walked away for a quick second
How
because the
dare
baby
you.
got fussy.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry.
So you guys, how old is your guys' baby now?
So he's just turned 8 months on Valentine's Day. Yes.
Little papash.
He's like the cutest freaking baby of all time.
I know.
I know, I'm
Blue
obsessed with
eyes.
him.
Oh my god, you guys, it's so hard to tell your voices apart.
Really?
Yeah.
I think
Carol's
this was,
my clone.
The last time when we did the Teen Mom episode, I thought that was going to be a problem, but I was able to me, it's
You
me,
know your own
but-
voice.
Yeah, but I felt like we were people could distinguish the difference, they could tell between us.
Yeah, I think so too, but it's just so funny because before I was in front of you guys, so now we're doing this little Skype call It's a little, it's a
yeah,
little
it's
different. I'm just like,
harder.
wait, where's the voice coming from? Is that
Who said
Vanessa's
that?
voice? Is that Carol?
Okay, he's
Carol's
back. So
my
what was the
twin
question?
voice.
I know.
I know. We're totally twin voices.
Oh my god, you guys! I
So
was like getting confused. Someone's gonna have to put on their man accent.
I know. Vanessa, sound a little more manly,
All
okay?
right, let me beef it up a little,
We
boys.
do this all the time. This is my one time to shine.
Sorry. Let me sound a little manly on this episode from this point on, guys.
Oh Lord.
Cool.
All right.
Okay.
So I was just asking Carol, when it was time for you to start a new relationship, were you looking to start, were you nervous to meet somebody that already had a family, or were you looking for that? Somebody who understands what it means to be a parent?
Heck no, I just got out of the relationship. I just wanted to not deal with kids really, but no, for real, for real, because I was like, I never really got to raise my son. So when I met Carol and I got to know Daniel and Carly, it was like a really cool experience for me.
But he was totally not looking for it.
Yeah, I wasn't looking for it. The kids were a plus. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like I wasn't really looking for it, but when it came to me, it was perfect.
That's so good. That's so
Thank
sweet.
you.
Yeah,
I know.
it was cool.
Tell me a little bit more. Tell me the whole process. How did it
And
happen?
so I guess okay. So when we met, my sister and my brother-in-law had already knew him. So I think when I met him, I already had known that he had a son. And at the time, he was kind of dealing with like custody issues with him. So when we first started talking, that was kind of at the time I was dealing with issues with my kid's dad. So we kind of like, when we talked, that's kind of like what we would talk about, like the troubles we were dealing with having kids with somebody else. We just kind of started dating. I think it was more Alex that had to jump into being a step parent because he didn't have his son around. So he met the kids and we kind of moved really quick. So
Okay. So, like, how soon when you guys started dating did you introduce him to the kids?
I'd say maybe like 3 months, but it was a wedding, so they didn't really sit there and we didn't really.
Yeah, they were running around with all the
Yeah,
other kids. and
yeah,
stuff.
they didn't hang out and get to know each other at that point. I think.
But I met Daniel. My first time I met Daniel was, I think, at Lena's wedding.
Yeah,
It
Lena's
was
wedding.
Lena-
Oh yeah, Carly wasn't even there. Yeah. So he had met Daniel like at a wedding, my sister's weddings.
Looking back on it, do you wish you would have introduced them sooner or a different way, or do you wish you would have waited?
No,
I
I
think
think it
probably
was
maybe I don't know. I guess
I think it was
I
cool.
don't even
think it
remember
was
when you
perfect.
official. Oh yes, okay, yes. All right. I guess I remember their first meeting, and that was probably I think I want to say maybe 5-6 months into it is when he officially met them, where we sat down, we ate. I introduced them to him. Carly was super funky, she
Aw.
wanted nothing to do with him. And Daniel, of course, he's just a little sweetheart, so he just didn't really, he talked to him and stuff. I don't think so. I think I didn't want to rush it. I was really nervous about bringing somebody else around my kid, especially Daniel, because he was a little bit older. He was 4, turning 5 at the time.
No, he was 5. turning 6.
Yeah, he was 5. Actually, yeah, he was 5. And then Carly was 1, going on 2.
Oh my
So
god, I can't believe she was that little.
yeah, she was very little, and she was funky as heck at the time.
Every-
that age.
Every kid at that age is so funky. You can't even look at Justine.
Yeah, she was super just not into it. Yeah, can you imagine bringing them having their dad and then bringing some new guy around? They'd probably be the worst. Think about all 3 of your girls.
So what about your first meeting with Alex's son, Carol? How did that go?
Okay, so I met him when he was about 3, I think he was.
Oh,
Yeah, and he was
Oh, yeah, that's
barely getting him. His mom was allowing Alex to see Jordan here and there, and we had to go to the DMV, and he ended up having him That was the first time I met him. He was like, he liked me. Like, he liked me, but I was also bribing him with candy. So
I know how to get to this boy's heart.
I'm like, gotta give him candy, you know? It went really well, actually. I don't even know what the term is. Like, he like drew to me pretty well or whatever.
Okay.
I don't know how to say it. But
Yeah.
that was the first time we met, and then he lost contact with him for like 2.5 years.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so that was like our first meeting, and then that was pretty much it. She knew that he was dating somebody else, and then she took him from him.
Just because he was dating somebody new, she's like, nope.
Yeah, she didn't want him around me.
How was Daniel and Carly's dad with Alex?
At first, it was rough.
I think he just I think he was like kind of salty in the beginning. I mean, there was never like an altercation between the two, but I think he was just like definitely in his feelings about it in the beginning. But I think how like when the kids would talk about him to him, or I'm sure he asked questions when they would go over, and he definitely grew on him because he knows how much the kids love him, you know. But I think it took a while for him to adjust to like having another man around his kids and playing a big role, you know?
Yeah, bigger role than he's playing.
Yeah, exactly. So hearing like all of the things that Alex does with them or does for them, and then knowing that he's slacking off in all of those departments, it did bother him at first.
So did you ever have to talk to him or anything, Alex?
No, but I did say, like, the first thing I said to him was, like, what's up, kind of, like, you know, like a man-to-man, like, what's up, dude? You know what I mean? But that was it. That was, like, the first thing. Like, I guess I don't know. I guess he wasn't too talkative.
Yeah, they actually have never had a conversation.
I went up to him and said, like, I stuck out my hand and I shook his hand, like, hey, like, hi. Mm-hmm. But that's, like, the furthest it gone. It's ever been.
And it's been, what, like 5 years?
I'm going on 5 years.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And they've never had a conversation.
And what about you with Jordan's mom?
That's been a rough road. I mean, yeah, definitely we have had conversations. After the fact, like after she took him away for those 2.5 years, there was no contact whatsoever. It was just a lot of drama. Like I noticed that she was kind of social media stalking me, so I ended up sending her a message about it. And
how did you know she was on the stalk?
Like I had people like requesting me because I'm private on Instagram. So I had people like requesting me, and I ended up by like chance clicking on one of those people, and she was in a video for that person.
Oh.
So it was just like, and I'm just like an FBI agent, you know, like
Carol's Perez, by the way.
Yeah, so.
Oh, so she's the Kim.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm the Libra. We're Libras.
Okay.
Everyone thought I was the Kim. She's the Kim.
Okay.
Yeah. So we had our little moment. I mean, we didn't actually speak one-on-one to each other at that point. She had somebody else message me, and that was it.
But
and
to tell you what? Like something not nice?
To tell me that it wasn't her, that she's so happy for me and Alex, but that she's not trying to bother me, that this and that, don't contact her, you know.
It was just fake.
Yeah, it was a mess. But so that was it. There was no other back and forth. There was nothing. And then me being like knowing that me and Alex were going to be starting a family soon, and me coming from a family where we're kind of a mess in that aspect as well. My dad having other kids out there created problems for our family. So I really didn't want that for ours. I swallowed my pride and I sent her a message. And at this time we had no contact with Jordan whatsoever. I contacted her and I told her, like, I am not reaching out for you to ask for Jordan. I'm clearing the air between you and I, so that when Alex does ask for his son, you don't take the fact that you and I don't get along into consideration. You know, we've never met before. Like, we have no reason to have issues. And from that message, it turned into us meeting Jordan again.
Oh, that's so
it
great.
did end up, yeah, it did end up going well. We met with him. We had him for a good year, like consistently, nonstop, and he's gone again.
Ugh.
So
Yeah.
it's been a rough road.
Yeah, 'cause
Definitely a
It's
rough
been
road. I
drama.
think it's probably being a stepmother has probably been the most challenging thing for me. It's definitely been
so
rewarding and also stressful.
so do you like how do you go about being a separate like mother figure for him?
I don't even know how to explain it. It's pretty hard because like I kind of run a tight ship with my kids. I mean, like I'm not like some super strict like military mom, but I do have, I feel like I have my kids like under some type of control, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And he was definitely not raised the same way. So he's very super hyperactive. He would throw tantrums. Like he was just really, it was very difficult. So for me, like I had my moments where it was like, I don't want to be mean. I don't want to say anything to him because I don't want to feel like for him to hate me because I don't want to be that evil stepmom. So there was definitely a challenge of like trying to balance out like how to keep things fair, how to like not discipline him because I don't want to be that one. But between me and Alex, I'm definitely bad cop as far as parents. Yeah. So he's a lot more lenient about what, things. And I definitely made sure I treated them the same as far as anything went. So if I go to the store and I pick out toys for my kid, there's a toy coming home for Jordan, whether he's with us or not. There's Easter baskets being made for him too, whether he's not with us or not. I always made sure to include him in everything we did. As soon as he came back in the picture, I went and redid our family pictures, like immediately, because I didn't want him coming home and seeing our family pictures without him, I definitely feel like I made that effort to be fair with my kids and with him as well. And he's just so fabulous that it was kind of sort of easy.
He is definitely a lot to love.
I know. I met him like a few times, and I saw him over the summer, so that's why I thought that you guys like were all together again. So I'm sure this is kind of a little bit more recent that you guys have stopped seeing him.
Yeah, it's probably been I think the last time we seen him was probably like September, like 4 or 5 months.
And it's just because his mom is like, I don't want to be around you. I don't want you guys watching him, or she's just being like petty over something.
It just gets really hard when you have to co-parent with somebody else, especially I think more so for me, like because like like as a mom, like what needs to be done and what shouldn't be done, and like it's really hard to try to stay in your place when it comes to things like that, and it just I think it's harder to co-parent, like to be a stepmother than probably a stepfather, I guess.
Like in every Disney movie, it's like the evil stepmother. It's just like already started off as that. And like moms are supposed to be seen in one light, and then, if you're not that, if you're parenting different, it's just weird. And it's, that must be really, really hard for the kids.
It's really hard.
And like hard on you too. Like you're trying to like keep.
I think, like I said, like it's been really rewarding because he's just totally like he was a part of our family, But I think why it's like really hard is because as a mother, I grew attached to him. I mean, never did I ever have any intentions or desire to step on her toes or replace her, But I grew really attached to him. We had him all the time. She's a little bit younger than us, so she's single.
Yeah, so you would think like if she has like a responsible other family that wants to take care of her son, like why wouldn't she just let you guys?
I think so the problem created with like she was really close with Alex's family prior to them breaking up. So his sister is she's getting a divorce. So she's in that like party girl phase, and they started hanging out. And me and Alex had an issue with that because we were having a lot of issues with her as a parent. Like, she will be like, she just takes off every weekend. Like, she's giving us a really hard time, and we're just trying to communicate with her to get on the same page as far as him and what his needs are, and making sure that there's always somebody there to be present for important things like open house, back to school night,
Yeah.
and she makes it really difficult. So we didn't want his family, like involving themselves with her in that aspect. Like, let's go party together when our problem is her partying too much because now Jordan's not getting the stability, like
Right.
you're his mother, he lives with you, he needs to go to bed at a certain time, he needs to have his homework done. Like, we have teachers complaining to him when he picks him up from school. Like, we're trying to fix all those problems, and we just felt like we needed his family to back that.
Yeah.
And she wanted a new party friend, so they all just banded together, and we haven't spoken to his family or his baby mamas pretty much since.
That's horrible.
So it's created, unnecessary problems. For now, Jordan doesn't see his brother. He hasn't seen his brother since he's been like 2 or 3 months. So it's a very tough road, like very, very, very tough road to, and I think that's where I go back to where you guys asked me about, when you're looking, what you were looking for.
Mm-hmm.
I love his son and I love him. Like, I would take him with 3 kids,
Yeah.
but being like, knowing all of this and then realizing what I was looking for, I definitely would have changed my perception on what I was looking for.
Yeah, without
I
the
was,
baby mama drama. I have this
yes.
I have this one friend, and I feel like I talk about her all the time, but she has like the most ideal setup of all time. Like, it's insane. So like, she had her first kid when she was 18, I think. And she got married. Like, her parents had them get married, but they were really young, so it didn't last long, and they broke up before her daughter was even 1. And they each like went on with their lives. They met somebody new, so he's remarried, she's remarried, and he has another kid, she has 3 more kids, and they're all like a coexisting family. Like, they do stuff together all the time, like all
That's
freaking million
amazing.
of them. Whenever like I go to her family's house for like the holiday, all of them are there, like her ex-husband,
That's
his
like
new wife,
super cool.
like
That
their
is so cool.
kids. It's so crazy, and it's so cool. When my friend had her second baby, her ex-husband's wife was there, like recording the baby being born. Like, they're just like,
Oh my
they're
god.
Wow.
super
I
close.
love it.
Me
You
Like,
would
too.
I
wish that.
honestly like think that I could be the same exact type of person. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
really do. Like,
Like,
I
you
feel
should
like
be
I
able
could.
to for the kids,
Yeah, I could totally do that. And Alex, same thing. Like, me and him can totally be around. He can be around Juan. Like, we've been to soccer games. Like, there's no issue. Like, Alex has even went alone without me, and him and Juan are there. Like, do you want to drink? Juan will ask him, like, Juan is obviously the kid's dad, for those of you who don't know. I'm just like saying his name like everybody knows, but he'll be like, "Oh, Alex, do you want something to drink?" Like, they're totally, they can be cordial, and same for me. Like, if at the time she could be like, "Oh, I need some, Caroline, can you please pick up Jordan from school?" Sure, we
Yeah.
weren't like all hanging out together, but it was definitely something that I would have wanted. I like peace. Like, I
Yeah.
don't like extra
Drama.
things that I don't need to deal with,
Yeah.
So for me, it's just like, that's something that would totally be what I would want out of co-parenting with step-parents, with baby mamas, baby daddies. Like, I could totally go for that.
Yeah.
But
She really lucked out.
I think we have that more so on my side, like with my kids and him. Like, we're planning Carly's birthday party coming in April, and it's going to be a joint party,
Oh, that's
like
good.
at Juan's house. So yeah, it's definitely, it took a while to get to that point, but we're there. So Juan also has a girlfriend, so there's like a stepmother until they get married, I guess.
Okay.
And that's a whole nother
So
side of drama as well.
is it? I was gonna say, how do you feel
Yeah.
about her watching your kids?
I was definitely open to like having a relationship with somebody. I want to know everything. So I was very like, I want to know details. Like if, he's been with her for like a little bit longer than me and Alex have been together. So over 5 years. She hates me.
No.
There's like no reason to it. She hates me. And like, I guess it's just the simple fact that I'm his baby mama. Like, we have never had conversations. We have never had like nothing. There's been nothing there, and she hates my guts. So no, I don't want her watching my kids. You hear about all these, step parents that abuse or murder kids, and you just have that in your head where you're like, yeah, no, you're not watching my kids.
Yeah.
But I would totally be for it.
Do you schedule it around, like, as long as she's not there, the kids could come over kind of thing?
I used to try, and that's a really difficult thing. Like, it's very difficult because he's in a relationship with her. I can't be like, I used to try to be like, well, I don't want her. I mean, they live together now, so I have to just accept it. But I still have I don't want them alone with her. They don't need to be going anywhere with her. They don't need to be going on like to the store with her. I just don't, as long as you're around, okay, I can't be unreasonable and expect you to ditch your girlfriend, he gets them 3 weekends out of the month. So I can't expect him to ditch her. Mm-hmm. She has kids of her own as well. So
her kids live with them.
Yeah, they all live together, yeah. So, I tried as hard as I could to try to keep her away because she's actually, cussed me out in front of my kids. Oh, so no. That's where, lines were crossed where I just didn't want her around them. Yeah. But...
Because if you can't respect their mama...
Yeah. I feel like I'm just really reasonable. So, I don't understand the beef. Yeah. I don't understand it, but yeah. She speaks only Spanish, so her and I wouldn't even be able to have a conversation if we tried. So,
what about Alex? Is there any difficulties or anything that he's faced being a stepdad?
No. Well, can you have a voice?
Hello?
No, everything's actually pretty smooth sailing, really. The kids are really good. They listen to everything I really tell them.
They love him.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy.
So there was no okay, what am I gonna do? You just kind of let Caroline be the bad guy. You guys could just come to me.
But Carly she really did give him a rough start. She used to tell him F you. I swear.
Oh, no.
He told me she did it low key.
In Spanish?
She did it in Spanish and English. So she was
yeah, I will tell her I'll tell her just to do the
get
most
down.
The most simplest thing to do, and then she'll
don't
come to my face and be whisper it to my face.
Yeah,
no.
She would do it low key.
Yeah, and I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, what the heck? Look at this little girl right here.
Yeah.
Whisper it to your face, I mean it, take it to your soul.
Yeah, and I'm like, what the heck? And I'll turn around and I'll look at Carol. I'm like, did you hear that? And she'll be like, no. I'm like, what?
I heard it the one time I heard it. I was like, oh, I was in my room and I was folding laundry and he told her get down, Carly. She was climbing on something. And she said it straight out, point blank, F you. And he's just I was like, oh, I was just so shocked.
I thought it was funny.
It was not funny. I definitely had to check her and she never did it again. So we're at past the point. I think I never force Daniel still calls Alex. I don't think he probably he refers to him as his dad. If he makes things at school, here, make something for your mom and dad. Even if it's a dad Father's Day or Christmas, he chooses to make it for Alex. Mm-hmm. He refers to him as his dad. He'll say oh, my dad got this for me. But when he calls him to his face, he definitely calls him Alex. Carly changed that up, I think, probably a over a year ago, it just changed one day. He went from Alex to dad, and there was no going back. And I never, it was even weird for me, honestly, like in the beginning, I was just like, it seemed a little odd. And then it just went. That was it. We all just kind of just grew accustomed to it. Definitely didn't force it. So they're definitely his children, even though he didn't make them.
Yeah, I don't try to force anything. I just let it happen.
That's good. That's perfect. What
Well, if I may add.
Oh yeah, we haven't let you talk in a long time.
I know. We don't want
it's
to
okay.
People.
This moody mommy has a voice too.
Manly, manly.
Oh, sorry. Let me get a little deeper here. No, I think you guys do a really good job at keeping your balance. You know what I mean? Like, you don't overstep your boundaries as far as what should be done with Jordan, and he doesn't do the same with the kids. And I think you guys do a really good job, and I think it goes a little unappreciated from, of course, the other ends, like, but that's their fault. And I think, honestly, in these situations where there is a step parent and somebody's still upset about it, I think it's obviously because they're just not over it. They're just too bitter that it didn't end, or it ended and they didn't want it to. They let their feelings get the best of them, and they let it affect their child's upbringing. You know what I mean? Like Jessica said, like if everyone could just come to the understanding that, like, look, we're just doing this for the kids. Like, we don't want to be in each other's life anymore, but hey, we have to be, So if only everyone, tell your friend she's got to be making
she needs to be a coach.
She's got to be making her own podcast.
I know, we have to talk to her one day. I always tell her we have to talk to her, but she has 4 kids there, and like 2 of them are like little babies. She's got a lot going on. But
she's got to squeeze us in.
I think it's challenging, like, for anybody, even if everything is okay. Like, I think it's just a hard adjustment that you don't know. Like, it's a different side of parenthood. Like, when you're a mother, you get thrown into it. You just pick it all up. There's no book on how and what you're doing right and wrong. You just kind of go for it. And I think being a step parent, I think Alex had it a lot more easier because me and Juan literally just speak about our children. There's never been, he's overstepping, where Alex has to step in. I think it's just always been easy in that aspect, and I think that's why he has it a little bit more easy. For me, it's been pretty challenging, and I think what something that a lot of step parents don't really like talk about. I think it's very challenging at first. I think especially when I didn't go into the relationship with him being a father, like actual, where Jordan was in the picture. It's really hard to have, like, your husband or your wife have children from another man or woman. It, as much as you love the kid, like I love Jordan, it's just a hard thing where it's just like something that you just can't prepare for. I don't know, it's just a difficult road. And I think for me it's been difficult just because she's drama. So it's
she's
harder.
Definitely a lot of drama, but I feel like if I were to ever have a stepmother for my children, I would hope that she would be something like what you are to Jordan, because I know you definitely, I'm your sister, I know that you care about him, you are fair with him, you do include him and involve him and think of him when he's not there. And that would be everything I would want for my child if I had to send him over to this house every weekend or every other weekend, you know what I mean? And hope that they're loving and treating him with everything that he should be given. So it just sucks that she doesn't appreciate that, and she's not letting her son blossom in that
I wish it was different, and sometimes I like try to take a step back and let them control the situation, because there's been times where I'm like, well, you need to go get him, like try to like, it's just you have to understand like when you just need to just not anymore, like it hurts that he's not involved with us anymore, and I tried to do whatever I could, and I feel like I did do my part. Still a long road we have ahead of us that, we just can't prepare for what it's going to come. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one in this boat. I mean, step parenting is hard. There's very few that can just make it work, like if it's the easiest thing, and those people are just adults.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard when you have like an ex-boyfriend or ex-girlfriend where you cannot get rid of them. That's why you need to choose who you have children with very wisely.
Yes.
I mean, that's like common sense, but clearly it wasn't.
Come on, Carol.
Clearly we were a little just cloudy on the common sense those days, Taylor.
You were young.
Yeah, very young.
How old was Alex when Jordan was born?
I was 21.
Okay.
I just turned 21.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you were a little bit older.
Yeah.
Still young.
That is not older. I mean, older than you were, yes, but that's very young.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. It's very young still, but I mean, technically you're an adult.
Yeah.
Yes, but yeah, I think about like I see like my like posts from when I was 21, and I like cringe of how childish I was, and I'm like, oh my god, we think we're so grown when we're not.
That was like 5 years ago. Still, like 6 years ago.
You
act like
but I'm
you're-
pushing 30, so
You're
my
not pushing 30.
21-year-old self.
You're barely in your mid
I'm
20s,
gonna be
girl.
Jessica, I'm gonna be 28 this
At
year.
the end of
I'm
the
pushing
year,
30.
you just turned 27.
Let me have my moment, okay?
I'm trying to let you be young still because I just hit 30 and I'm like crying about it too. But I shouldn't be.
Oh, yes. Mother Grothel over here.
I am.
You're turning so old.
I am
can't
the eldest.
calm down.
I'm getting
You're like
sunspots.
tinier than all of us. You're not getting old. You're
Yes, I am.
gonna stay
I'm
little
getting
forever.
Liver spots, guys. I'm getting my liver spots.
Oh my god, you're a mess.
I know, I'm kidding. But okay, I know you were saying that Carly on her own just started calling Alex dad. How did that make you feel, Alex?
When she first started calling me that, I was like, look at me. Do you know who I am? Yeah. Are you confused right now? Are you sleepy?
Are you sleepy?
And then she, like the next day, just the next day, she just kept doing it. And I was just like, it was a good feeling because I never had anybody call me dad, and it was just a good feeling. It was cool.
Yeah, and then he's like, well, so it took about like two years, I think, for it to happen. Just because it's like, you're raising. Like, Carly was very little. She's never going to remember a life without Alex. So the fact that she, like, appreciates it on her own without, like, us being like, well, that's your dad, like, trying to force it on her, I think it's probably a lot more rewarding for, like, a child to choose that, in their own time.
Yeah, that's perfect that you guys did it that way because there's a lot of people that are like, no, you're going to call him blah blah blah. Like, I'm not comfortable with that yet.
I think that's sad.
Does Juan know that she
if we
calls him that?
Yeah, I remember when she first started. So that, like I said, this was probably like over a year ago already, but not like too much over a year. So it's not that long ago. Yeah, he definitely had an issue with that. He would, Carly and Danny would tell me he would tell them like, don't call him that. You can call him Alex, or you can call they would tell her like, don't call him that. And she didn't care. She was just like, whatever. She does everything for me. So
she is a little thug.
She totally is. She's got attitude for days.
I know. I know you guys know that. I mean, I don't know the full story, but we have a cousin or who got married, and she had a child from a previous marriage. And when her daughter told her biological dad that she had, her other dad too, which was our cousin, he was like super pissed and like took the daughter away too.
Wow.
Nope, like you are not calling somebody else dad. Being
Going
with them,
around him.
yeah, and then
Yeah.
they ended up taking. She was a stupid idiot for leaving the state with her daughter. Like she fucked up, and then she hasn't got her back since.
Wow.
Oh my god. I remember her having a daughter, and I remember her being taken away, but I didn't know that was the reason. That sucks.
Yeah.
Me neither.
I think people just like need to just be like confident. Like, I wish they had somebody different than the girl that mom's dating. Like, I really wish that she was somebody different. Like, I hope he breaks up with her and finds like some really nice, sweet girl that like gives my kids what they need. Like you only like. Blended families are can in some ways be a blessing, like you get another set of family that can mean a lot to you. And I would not even mind like if they seen her as somebody like a mother, like it would make me feel good knowing that my kids have another person that loves them almost as much as we do, but it's not the case. I just don't understand how people just get like really like threatened or upset by it, where they want to punish the children, because that's what you do.
Really.
I'm glad you ladies don't have to deal with it. Like I tell my best friend, like none of my friends have kids, so like I'm the only one that has a child. And I tell my friend all the time, Christina, I'm like, do not date a guy with kids. Like, this is coming from somebody that is married to somebody with a kid and has kids. And I tell her all the time, like, just create your own family. Like, don't get yourself into that. Like, it's blessing. It's a blessing. Like, I know your listeners are probably like, what a jerk, But if I could recommend it, like, just, it's a rough road and it can really take its toll on you. I think probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to deal with is this being like involved with this situation, because I lose out too when he's taken away. Like, I'm a mother, we get attached to things, like, you create that bond, and when it's taken away, it truly affected me. So it's been really hard, and I have no control of it. So it's just, It's a hard, difficult situation. So if you're single and you think you can take on dating a man with kids, I don't think you know.
Yeah, but
okay.
No.
at this point though, like we're all getting a little bit older, so it's really hard to find somebody that doesn't have kids already.
That doesn't have
That's
kids.
exactly what my friend tells me too. She goes, Caroline, she's like, I'm like almost 28. Me finding a guy with no kids is like impossible. Like, well, get to
He's
know
out there.
them.
Keep looking.
Yeah,
They're out
look
there.
in. Travel, do whatever you gotta do, girlfriend.
Yeah, you gotta search
Find him.
outside of California.
Do something.
FedEx him.
Stupid mail order grooms. I mean, obviously, like, yes, okay, your first recommendation is try to go for no kids. But, if they do have kids, like, what would be your recommendation for going into the relationship?
I think just with like an open mind, just knowing that like you have to put your feelings to the side, because I think first initial feelings for as a step parent or somebody that's taking on dating with somebody with kids is you have to understand that there's always going to be that ex in the picture. And that's a hard pill to swallow. I'm not going to lie. Like, I'm kind of a jealous person. So just having to deal with her being around like our whole lives is something that I just don't get excited about, regardless of her and I relationship, whether we got along or not. I would just say, like, keep an open mind, try to put those feelings to the side. And I think after that, I think everything would go pretty smoothly, given that, because I think that's why mine and Juan's and his situation kind of works so well, is because, we don't mix anything in besides our children conversations,
Yeah.
And I think that's why Alex is so comfortable with it, and why he's comfortable, Juan's comfortable with it, because he's good with his kids. I think you just have to be prepared for all of that. It's a big, big, big commitment.
What about you, Alex? What kind of advice do you have?
But daddies, stepdaddies.
Yeah, I think just basically keep an open mind. It's true. Just you got to put your feelings aside if you really want to be with that person. And when you do meet their kids, you got to act like one too. Like show them that you have a good heart. You're not a strict person. You're not a punk. You're not gonna be like, oh, I don't want to talk to you or things like that. You just got to be nice to the kid and just keep an open mind and put your feelings to the side.
What was it like getting into the relationship with Caroline? Like knowing, like, oh, she has 2 kids. Okay, having to.
Mm.
Well, you guys said you guys had a
Um,
little space, right, to just be you two for a little bit.
yeah, for a little bit we did, and I don't know. I'm more of a family guy, so it was cool. Like I was kind of like just anticipating on when am I gonna meet them or how I'm gonna meet them, if they're gonna like me, if they're gonna see me as some dude or just like a friend or like it was just different emotions going through my head all the time. But it was just really easy and it was cool. It was just really cool because I'm a family guy and I didn't have that. And like I didn't have like you guys. You guys got cousins up the yin yang.
Yeah,
Crazy.
Alex's family consists of like 2 people.
Yeah, that's it. It's just
Oh
my
my
mom,
gosh.
my pop, my sister, and that's it.
Yeah, it's
So
literally a small.
it was just I
Aw.
was kind of like Joey. Like it was a very small. I had a
Yeah.
very small circle.
Yeah.
So when I met you guys, it was just like, dang, like you guys
We're a
are
lot to take in.
big. Yeah,
We
roll
deep.
for
We
real. So
deep.
it was just really cool. It was just really, really cool for me to step out of my circle and make a new one for myself.
That's awesome.
We like him, Carol. I think we'll keep him around.
Approved. You guys are already married. Like you need our approval.
I think Alex is like meant to be like a step parent.
I just love kids, like all the time. Like even in high school, like I'll be like babysitting these little kids that are like throwing stuff at me and like tearing up their parents' room and stuff. But I just like kids. Just being a kid is cool. So it's just like, oh, let's go do this, you guys. Like especially with Daniel. Like I'm super close with Daniel. I could be like, hey, Daniel, let's go play some PS3, and he'll be like, heck yeah, let's go, or like anything. It's I don't know. It's just really cool.
And then how long before you guys were like, you know what? I think we need a baby of our own too.
Shoot,
Oh,
Carol
it took a
was
while,
like,
yeah. Not even. Okay, so don't go there because I love my sleeves. I think like probably. I mean, baby Alex is 8 months, so and we've been together going on 5 years. So it took us. We had a good like 4 years run without like a baby of our own because I share custody, so our kids, they go with their dad on certain weekends. So we had our time where it was just us. And for me, I only wanted one kid. When Diana came out, that was it for me. And then when Carly came out, I was like, oh no, this is definitely it. And then just seeing how Alex is with my kids, it's like part of the reason why I love him so much. Like he's just always been a great father figure to them since day one. So I actually was like, wow, I'm shocked. Like I actually want a baby. Like I want to have a kid with him because I know if he's this great with my kids, like I can't imagine how he would be to raise a kid of our own,
Mm-hmm.
like fully like trying, but we weren't doing anything to not like to stop it for I think I want to say like a good 2 years.
Oh my gosh.
So maybe like 2 years in, 2.5 years in. So it took us about 2 years to get pregnant.
Wow.
Yeah. But we weren't really like forcing. I think we were rushing. I think we were just like enjoying each other. And then I think it just happened when it was just meant to happen.
Good.
I think that's why he's so perfect because he was like
He's such a
amazing.
stud.
A lot of patience and love. There's like ups and downs of having kids from, different people. I just felt bad because like I know when my kids are with their dad, like they're going to be like, hey, he's going to be like, where are you guys going? And it's going to be hard. Like I said, it's going to be a hard road from like forever. So we have to explain to him why he can't go with them. You know, it's always going to be some sort of difficult.
Something to adjust to.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's just adjustment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll take it on when we get there.
And it's just going to be forever.
Yeah, it will be forever. Yeah, we're just going to
Don't worry.
It's just forever.
It's just forever.
No, it really is. But I mean, I definitely wouldn't. Like I said, I would probably, if I could have told myself something when I was younger, I'd probably be like, don't. But I definitely wouldn't change it. Like I said, I would be with Alex if he had like 3 kids. It's a hard thing, but I tell him all the time, I will be there, and whatever decision you make as far as him. You want to fight her in court? Like, I will be there. Like, I just can't throw all of my emotions into it anymore because it's just too rough for me.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I was definitely too emotionally invested into him and that whole situation, where I felt like I definitely had to take a step back to not take it so hard, because it definitely has been hard.
What I should have looked up was like what other people have had to say about it, but I didn't because I'm the worst host ever.
And I'm the worst co-host ever.
Vanessa
We're just winging it,
going,
guys.
probably stuffing her face with like some cookies or something. Just kidding.
I can't, because you would be able to hear me chew.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, I'm sure it's like a lot of people have different experiences, though. Definitely, like
Yeah.
you said, your friend, she has a really good. Me and Vanessa had an aunt like that too. Like, I swear, it wouldn't even be parties for their children. It would be like a freaking family party, and like 2 of her ex-husbands are there. Like,
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I
You're
swear.
like, whoa.
Yeah, like, what are you doing here? Like,
Mhm.
how is this so cool for you guys? You know?
Yeah.
But I mean, people make it work.
They do. Like, I'm telling you, that family, like, they were just raised some, like, hippy-dippy way, because, like, even her sister just, got divorced a few years back, and her ex still comes to all the stuff, too. So, like, all this family is there, and he had even got, like, remarried. I never met the girl that he remarried, but it was, like, a quick marriage, and they, like, got divorced right away, and my friend's sister always makes fun of him for like that stupid marriage and like what the heck?
Oh my goodness.
So it's so funny.
There's no need to just hang on to all the bitter and angerness. It's
I think,
over.
like,
Accept it.
I think it's like people are just handle things very differently.
Yeah,
But I think for
totally.
me, my big thing was like the kids, his kid. Like, what? I do not want to sit there with his ex-girlfriend. Like, it just would never happen if he didn't have a kid.
So I looked up this quick post. It's from Huffington Post, called 12 Things No One Tells You About Being a Step-Parent. So the first thing it says is, no one tells you that being a step-parent will put your self-esteem to the ultimate test.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. The second one is just how much the ex can affect your relationship. And you kind of like went over that a little bit.
I think like every time me and him, like, we had drama with her, like, it was so easy for me to want to take it out on him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I literally wanted to just like be like, she wasn't here for me to take it out on her, but I wanted to do it to him. And I just would sit there and tell myself, like, this is not his fault. Like, yes, he's had a kid with her, so technically it is his fault, but like, he's not controlling how she acts, like, that's her. And I think that's what she's trying to do. And I'm not going to let it happen. I'm not going to let this affect us. So I would literally sit there. I have to tell myself this, and like immediately after something happened, like, don't do this to your marriage. Don't do this to your relationship because you're upset with her at the moment.
And I'm sure that's what she wants.
Yeah.
It's funny how you take out stuff on the people who are technically closest to the person that you're kind of annoyed at. Because like Ernie's mom had asked to see my ring, right? So I sent her a picture of my hand, and she's just like, stop playing, you're so funny, send me a picture of your real hand. And I was like, how rude. Like, she's saying I have ugly fingers. And like, I was all like mad at Ernie. Like, not mad at Ernie, but like, oh my God, your mom, blah, 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 blah. He's like,
Take it out.
yeah. Yeah. And he's like, don't take it out on me. Like, I didn't say that. And I was like, but still. Like, I was like,
You
God
came
damn
from her.
Yeah. How dare you? You think it too. You guys have the same brain. You have the same blood.
If she thinks it, you think it.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
I know.
Yeah.
So the next thing it says is that no one tells you your parenting isn't instinctive. So like you were saying, you treat, your kids a certain way and you want to like keep Jordan up to those standards, but like you're not his mom and you can't like sit your ass down right now to him too.
I used to like laugh about that all the time. I would tell Vanessa or whoever, I'd be like, they're all in the back and they're acting like a mess or whatever, and I'd turn around and be like, get your shit together, and then I'd be like, Jordan, stop. Like, he'd probably look at me while I'm yelling at my kids like crazy, like a psycho, and then be like, Jordan, can you please knock it off? And he's like, what? And my kids probably hated him.
And Alex, what do you think about that? I know, right? They're like jealous. Like, how come he never gets in trouble like we do?
Mm-hmm. I know.
She's randling him.
What do you think about like the parenting, since they're not your biological children, like being as instinctive as they are like now with baby Alex?
I would just call Carol, be like, Carol,
yeah, get your kids,
like,
girl.
They did this, they did that, or Charlie did this.
Hey, Joey does that even with your own kids, Vanessa.
I know, dude.
No, he's
like
my third
definitely
kid. Has never yelled at the kids.
I can't yell
like,
at them.
I can. Not that I would be like, why are you yelling at my kids? Like, I would never, because if he ever yelled at them, it would probably be for a good reason, because he never does,
Mm-hmm.
But he has never yelled at the kids or like yeah, he tells them stuff, definitely, like, you guys stop, or like, Carly, like, don't do that or whatever, and he's like comfortable with that, but yelling or disciplining them, yeah, no.
I try to talk to him like an adult, kind of, like, at first, like, you guys need to understand this, and if you guys don't, your mom's gonna come in here right now.
It ain't gonna be me. Your mama's gonna come get you.
I'm telling mom.
So this next one says, I'm gonna read it to kind of get through it a little bit. I think that the sentence doesn't really fulfill what it's trying to say. So no one tells you how hard it is to balance the demand of your role. You're a safe place for your stepchild to open up about feelings they have and can't talk to their own parents. At first, I was excited and felt like, yes, they finally trust me. But then you find out this could be a huge negative. Do I try and be the cool parent and handle it on my own and keep what they say to me in confidence, knowing that their dad or mom should know about it? If I tell the kids dad or mom, and they'll feel as though I betrayed them and their trust, like, it's a tough situation. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, that's definitely hard, because there are things that Daniel talks to Alex about, and like, Alex will tell me like, don't tell him I told you. But he doesn't want, like, you could tell it's like hard for him to tell me because he doesn't want to break that trust. But for me, I have like no like filter when it comes to like me and my husband. Like, I'm not very good secret keeper in general. Like, don't tell me.
Oh, that's good to know.
Well, unless I keep all your secrets. I mean, you guys tell your husband or like your fiance everything, right? And especially in regards to your kid, like, if like, if I read Daniel's text message with him and his little friend, babe, like, look, this and that, It's hard to like not tell him. I definitely think that if this were me and Jordan, like, he was telling me stuff about him that he doesn't tell his mom, I definitely wouldn't tell her. Or like, we were at that place where we could talk to each other about him. I don't think I would tell her, because I feel like if he was comfortable enough to tell me and not her, then there's a reason for it. But I would definitely tell Alex about him, like about Jordan. So I would spill the beans to half of the parents.
I mean, I feel like it would kind of depend on what it was, like if she was dating somebody new and like he was abusing the kid or something and he didn't want to tell his mom.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I think that's the why, like, I tell my sisters too, like, I don't really want, like, my nieces to come talk to me about certain things because I don't want to be feel like they're gonna look at me like, dang, I can't even trust you. But then at the same time, like, I'm obligated to tell my siblings if I think they should know something about their own child, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like I would feel the same way about.
Like he comes to you like, "Hey, Carol, I'm just letting you know that I'm planning on running away." You know, like.
I'll be like, dude, I'm gonna tell your mom right now.
Uh
Like, what are you doing? Like, what? Are you crazy?
But yeah, for sure.
I wouldn't be no kid's friend. I'm gonna tell your mom right now.
I
I'm gonna tell
know.
your dad right now.
That's so funny because one of the next ones is said no one tells you that all your stepchildren really need is a friend, not a replacement parent.
I think that's what Alex
Sorry.
is, though, for Daniel, for sure. With Carly, I think he's definitely is more dad. I think with Daniel, they're definitely like friends. Like they're very close. He comes home and Daniel is excited to tell Alex something about Yu-Gi-Oh cards or a PlayStation game. It's more like he doesn't come home and tell me that. I know I like video games too, you know, but he just feels like that friend vibe with Alex. Like they're definitely friends. Like you could definitely tell. With me and Jordan, I was definitely not his friend. Maybe that's why he was just like, "You're a psycho." Because I felt like
I hate you.
I think he needed me.
He needed structure.
Yeah,
That's what it was.
He needed me not to be his friend.
For sure.
I think that's what his mom is to him, is for his friend. She only has him a couple hours, like probably throughout the whole week, 7 days in a week. She probably has him like a full day, like out of all those hours put together.
Yeah.
So, and when she's with him, she's his friend. So I think that's why for me, I didn't really want to be his friend. I think he needed me to be more of a structured, stable person.
Yeah, kids need that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this other one says that no one tells you that your relationship with your partner must come first. One of the biggest mistakes step couples make is putting the needs of the relationship last. A step family can't survive without a strong, connected couple steering the ship.
I think that's true.
Yeah. I think I definitely respected, like, given all the drama that we've had with her, like, I definitely respected how he handled everything and how he always made me feel comfortable in regards to her and that whole situation. And I think vice versa too. I think that's why he's so comfortable as well, because probably like when me and Juan went to court, he told me something about, like, because we live with just Alex's dad. So when we were leaving the courthouse, like, we were definitely on good terms at the time. And he told, hey, he's like, make sure you're not leaving like Carly or Daniel alone with his dad. Like, I don't know him. And I'm like, okay, like I don't, anyways, not that I'm saying like Alex's dad's a weirdo. I'm just saying, like, and not that I don't trust him. It's just, I don't like, there would be no reason for me to be like, hey, Alex's dad, watch him.
Yeah.
And then he mentioned like, oh, and Alex too. And I was just like, whoa, like, first of all, buddy, like, he's been in Carly's life since she's been like how old? And you're telling me this now at this point. Like, he's been there for them when you weren't. So you have no right to tell me if they're allowed to be alone with him or not, you know? So I think that's why, like, we definitely make sure that our relationship, and we definitely make sure that they know that we are, you know, a team in everything.
You stand behind each other really well.
Yeah, there's no him, there's no I, and like me, there's us. Like, we are a team in this. We stand together. I have his back, he has mine.
Yeah, that's perfect. And I think that this is there. Don't compare yourself to other step parents. Forgive yourself. And I feel like that just goes all around for parenting, like not just being a step parent, like being a parent in general. You can't make all the right choices, and you do stupid stuff that you wish you didn't do or say, but you got to forgive yourself. Move forward.
We're all new at this. It's very doing this without instructions, so
one day at a time. I wish, like you mentioned your friend, like, I wish it was like that for us, but I'm not going to beat myself up for it, because some things are just out of our control at times.
Right.
So it's like, we can like, I'm sure, people are listening to this and, disagree with some things I say or he says, or agree with it and wish that was the way things were for them. But it's just everybody's different. Every situation's different. Every person's different. So you can't base anything.
So, I mean, just stick with it and know that you'll emerge a better person. That's what one of these other quotes said.
I think you just gotta give it your all. That would be my advice, to just give it your all.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's amazing. So we should probably start wrapping this up.
But I hope I didn't anger people by what we said.
Thank you guys for talking to us and staying up. I know you guys have the 3 kids there.
Yes, thank you
The
guys
nighttime
for
is our
coming
party
on.
time.
It's school night.
Not for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we like to party at night.
Oh, the kids are asleep. It's parents' time.
Yeah, definitely.
Parent party.
But yeah, I hope we shared some insight on the step parenting world.
You did. It was really nice to hear you guys' story. Like we know what
keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
I know, and good.
can't.
And
I'm
good,
not allowed, but
no. I mean, good luck, like with you guys getting Jordan back in your lives.
Yeah.
Like,
Fingers crossed, for sure.
thank you guys.
she'll come back around. I mean, she was like kept him away for so long to begin with, but she'll come around and she'll let him be a part of your lives again, I'm sure. I mean, as long.
Yes. Hashtag bring back the Jordan.
Oh, I know, he's so adorable.
He's so fabulous.
And I know that you guys are always going to be, no matter what the situation is, you guys are always going to have your doors open to him. So
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, of course, all the time. And like, I just hope and just that she realizes pretty soon, like not in a long time, just like pretty soon, that she realizes what the heck she's doing.
Yeah, it's a hard thing, but yes, thank you guys.
I know, I want to see his little butt dancing at my wedding. That's what I need in my life, okay?
Oh my god,
Those fabulous hips.
I need it.
You don't need somebody to outshine you, Jess.
I do, I think. If it's Jordan, it's worth it.
He's a little guy, but
All right, thank you guys
for having us.
All right,
Enjoy
guys.
talking with you guys, you girls, I should say.
Yeah.
Hope we weren't
Thank you, mommies, for having me on.
having this moody stepdad on your guys' moody bucket.
Moody stepdad.
I know. Thank you guys. I really appreciate you guys giving me the time to
you're
speak my
funny.
mind about everything.
Yeah, I know.
Cheers. We
This
love
is,
it.
this
We
is the
love
open
hearing
space.
your story.
The only time you have Carol to tell what you really feel. And she can't say anything.
I told him before we got on, I said, you better not be phony.
You better not be phony.
Yeah, I said, don't be sharing your little stories, your fake stories.
Oh, they're not fake. They're not fake stories.
He's dramatic. He's a
Oh
Taurus.
man.
Alex likes to Hollywood up his stories.
Wait, so then okay, I
That's the
know
best.
I'm just kidding, Alex. I love you.
Don't believe everything he says.
you guys have okay, so you got the Libra vibes, he's the Taurus. So what does it mean that I'm an Aquarius?
I don't really know Aquarius too well. I'll study it.
You know
but
what, Jessica? That's why you and I vibe so well. You know that, right?
Well, no, I don't know anything about astrology.
What is Ernie?
He's a Sagittarius.
Ooh.
I think that's this. He's December 1st.
Yeah, he is. He
December
is.
1st, he's a Sag. She's definitely a Sag.
like your dad, right?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Oof. No,
You
just
guys.
kidding.
I don't know.
I don't know.
My
I'm not
phone's
gonna.
dying.
You guys are rude.
We're kidding. We love you, Dad.
What
Yeah,
about
no.
Ernie? You guys. Just kidding.
No, Sagittariuses, they're supposed to be the players of the Zodiac.
Oh.
BTW.
I
So he's
know.
probably player all before he met you.
Oh, I'm gonna have to send a Detective Caroline on him before I say I do.
Uh-oh.
No, yeah, but they're
Better watch your back, Ernie.
I know. He doesn't listen to this anymore. I can say all the things I want.
I hope we're editing all this out, guys.
We're totally not.
I'm
Everyone
gonna get a
wants to hear this.
Sagittarius angry mob.
I know. I know. They're like, I'm not a player. I just crush a lot. That's what they
Seriously.
Yeah, but you guys study up on Aquarius and let me know about me.
I will. I know a lot about zodiac, but the two signs that I don't know a lot about is Aquarius and Capricorn, because I don't have a lot of those in my circle.
Oh, okay.
So I don't really know too much about them. But I'll check it out and I'll get back to you.
Okay, sounds good. All right, we'll let you and Alex go, and me and Vanessa will wrap up our little goodbye so you guys don't have to sit through it.
Mhm.
All right, you guys.
All
Well,
right,
thanks
thank
for
you
having
again.
us.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Bye, Moody Mommies.
Bye.
Bye.
Later.
All right, that was awesome to have them on here with us. They're so cute.
So funny.
So where can you find us?
You guys can find us on Instagram, because who doesn't love Instagram? We are the Moody Mommies podcast. No, right?
No, the Just Moody Mommies podcast.
Moody Mommy Podcast. We are on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Stitcher, iTunes. It's just Google us. We are the Moody Mommies. Find us anywhere you want to find us. Rate, review, comment, like, share, and give us all your feedback. Let us know what you guys want to hear.
Yep. And then we also have This Is Us podcast. You guys can listen to us talk about our
Yes.
favorite show. I just posted a new episode up for that too, but we're coming back again with that at the end of this month because they're on a little break. So for Moody Mommy's podcast, we are going to be talking to the guys from the Dad Project pretty soon. We have to get in contact with them. We went to one of their events during Christmas time. So
December, yeah.
yeah, so we'll tell you all about them a little bit more. But if you're interested in finding out about them, just look up the Dad Project on Instagram. And then there's these other ladies that we want to talk to, LA Mamacitas. We need to talk to them.
Right.
They have some stuff coming up too. So I'm excited to hear from everyone. But, we got to squeeze in some Jessica and Vanessa time only too.
Moody Mommy only exclusive time.
Mm-hmm.
We got lots to chat about. We have some good wedding updates. Dun, 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 dun. Jessica found the dress, guys.
Oh my god, I totally did.
She did. She paid for it. It is getting made as we speak. So we're making moves, guys. We're getting her closer and closer.
I have to email them to see if they could add a bustle to that train.
I was going to tell you that the other night. I swear, I thought of it and I was like, shit, I forgot to tell Jessica. Hopefully they can do it.
I know. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for listening to us chat about being a step parent. That was fun. I learned a lot, even though hopefully that doesn't become the case for me. But
Yeah.
you never know. You really never know. But for
You
all
really
my
don't,
friends and all my loved ones that are going through this stage in their life, good luck to you. And I hope it all turns out well and everybody could co-parent together. But if not, whatever. What can you do? Do your best. That's all you can
Yep.
do.
Day by day.
And until next time.
See you guys.
Say Moody Mommies.
Moody Mommies.
Moody Mommies podcast.